right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sanusi Vision Not Life. My name is Adewale Booker Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star. Don't be a hater. Today, I'm going to talk about Karjakz Vs Assassins and how it has become a pipeline of my dream and where it has gotten me. But before we get into this podcast, we want to thank our sponsors. This Sanusi Vision podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. As I stated before, and I've said it on previous episodes, they're coming out with a new podcast soon. It's going to be amazing, teaching you how to grow your business, take it to the next level, just the same way Sanusi Vision is now. As I stated before, our podcast is now available on strictly our YouTube channels, but we also stream them on our Facebook pages, and also streaming it on our TikTok. The social media platforms just seem to be a better place to have your podcast, and that's where we're going. So Sanusi Vision podcast is available there. And this podcast also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. As I stated before, you know what I'm saying? Nothing worse than getting some generic custom orthotics. Well, guess what? These are custom orthotics, right? Footwear to decrease the pain in your foot. I no longer have any pain in my foot, but I'm so used to wearing these awesome orthotics that I just keep wearing them. So every pair of batas that I wear, you know what's going in them. Anadel Center. Custom design, custom orthotics strictly for your feet, not for anybody else's. You got to have your own. So that's where we at with this, man. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. All right, y'all. As I stated before, today's podcast, I want to talk about Karjakz Vs Assassins and how it has become a pipeline. And there's three things I really want to focus on. Construction, progress, and finish line. So let's start off with the construction, of course. Version 1 of the Karjakz Vs Assassins. This is where the whole idea started. You know what I mean? All I had was some characters. I wanted to have superheroes of my own. I got bored, got tired of drawing Iron Man, Blade, Batman, you name it. I just was like, this is boring. I got to do something of my own, because it's one thing to keep recreating what somebody else has done, but it's a whole nother thing to create your own. And so, as I stated before in previous episodes, it always seems like every 10th episode, if y'all often notice, every 10th episode is about Karjakz Vs Assassins, because this universe is massive. And I remember telling myself, I need my own characters, man. So I got the good guys, I got the bad guys, what their name's going to be. So around 2009, I started. I didn't finish till 2012. And on October 19th, 2012, I went and printed my first poster. 24 by 36. I had like $65 left in my bank account. I didn't care. Either pay a bill or print my poster. I was like, oh yeah, I'm printing my poster. I could care less about a bill, man, because a dream will pay the bills. You know what I mean? So I started doing that, man. And I came up with this bio book. One of the first things that I came up with was creating a bio book, because it helped me to have the profile on each character, right? So you've got the classic Karjakz. This is the classic Karjakz Vs Assassins bio book, the first one I ever created, right? And so you can see the characters look real retro right here, right? Versus like compared to 2, 3, and then of course 5. But now that's a 6th version, because the first official Karjakz Vs Assassins comic book is coming out soon. You know what I mean? And I went through the characters. As you can see, the characters look real old school. Look at the drawing, right? I'm just gonna flip through and let y'all see it. And I was like, I gotta create these characters, but it's one thing to create the characters, then it's another thing to give them a name. I mean, would y'all believe that actually giving these characters names was actually harder than drawing them? That was really weird, because I remember drawing them. Kanji almost became Diesel, and Diesel almost became Kanji, because Kanji in Japanese means strength. And I was like, why the hell would I want to call a guy Kanji? That don't even make no sense. It just sounded cool, but it didn't make no sense. So I decided, you know what? Kanji's going to be Kanji. You know what I mean? And she's one of my favorite characters in the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. She's so ruthless. Of course, you know, and then, of course, the Bible. And this was the first version. And I just kept on going, right? So from 2009 up until where I am today in 2023, I've had 5 versions, but technically it's 6, because the first official Karjakz Vs Assassins comic book has them looking completely different. You wouldn't even know who was who. And so, like, when you're constructing these ideas, there's anxiety, you're nervous, you're anxious, and you're excited at the same time too. It's just a weird combination of feelings, and you're just going through it, and you're designing characters. You're not knowing what you're doing. Each character at least took me at least 3 to 6 months to create. I mean, it took me 3.5 years to create them, the original versions. And this is this right here, which doesn't even look half as difficult as this right here in my hand. You know what I mean? And I would go create a character. I remember going through Escalade. She was drawn twice. Cajun was drawn twice. I think honestly, Glocks might have been the easiest. I don't want to call it easy, but he was the one that I didn't have as many problems as anybody else. Sincere was the first character I drew. I created Cajun, but not drawing him the way I drew him. So Sincere was the first one I actually drew. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And she was really based on my dream girl. Like, what would my dream lady look like? What kind of characteristics would I want this woman to have? You know what I mean? So that's where that idea came from. And then I just took it over from there. I'm going to base one on myself, my two brothers, my sister, my best friend, my big brother. This guy I consider a big brother, you know, that's Diesel. And I just like, let me just keep going. And I just kept on going. Next thing you know, I had the good guys. Then I said, well, I need villains too. So then I got to create a villain. So the villains became counters of the heroes. And who was I going to base them on? One of the villains, Grievo, of course, is based on my cousin. He's like, I'd love to be a villain. So I created a villain. And then I said, okay, I need more villains. So you got Artillery, you got Kanji, you got Snipes, you got Yukon. And of course, you got their leader, Sanusi. And I've always had affinity for tigers, man. I think they're coolest. Rare tigers, but like a white tiger, right? Because I remember watching cartoons as a kid. Ronin Warriors, He-Man. They always had cool tigers. I was like, you know what? Battle Cat and White Blaze from Ronin Warriors. Like, you know what? I'm going to create a tiger too, man. So I created a tiger. You know what I mean? Two tigers. One for the villain side, one for the villains, the assassins, and then one for the heroes, the Karjakz. And I just gave them profiles, man. I mean, it just took on a life of its own. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. All right, so what am I going to do now? So I go from bio books. You know, you got the first version, got the next version, and then you got, of course, the most current version right now here, which is this version is very popular. People love it. And I think it's more because it looks very Japanese style. You know, this was eventually this is Japanese style, but it wasn't this. You know what I mean? And when I got to this when I realized I needed to create the first official Karjakz Vs Assassins comic book. I mean, there's nothing more exciting and more liberating than realizing that, okay, your characters are reaching a point where they're growing now to expand where they are. And when I say where they are, is the places they're going to go. So now we're talking about the progressive part of this podcast, right? And progress. So I started to go to art shows, right? All I really was doing was selling posters. And of course, Karjakz Vs Assassins, right? So I got the characters. There you go. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I want to do more than just posters. You got the Karjakz right there. You got Cajun right there. So I'm going to skim through a few characters, let y'all see them. You know what I mean? So Glocks, Rasputin, you know what I mean? So, you know, Diesel right there, Shepherd. You know, I was like the assassins, of course, and then of course led by Lord Sanusi. You got. Excuse me, I skipped them, almost skipped them. Artillery, Excursion. You know what I mean? And you got Kanji, Revo, and for all y'all wondering, Kanji is older than Revo. You know what I mean? That's why she bosses his butt around all the time. And then Snipes, Yukon, and then of course let's get the Coyotes for y'all. Can't forget them. You know what I mean? Then of course you got the Coyotes right there, you know what I mean? And that's all I had. I was like, oh, okay. I'm going something. So I started going to art shows, going to comic expos. My first comic expo was Long Beach Comic Con. It wasn't what I thought it would be in terms of sales, man. It was not, I wouldn't call it a train wreck, but I didn't do anything, man. But I also wasn't discouraged too, because I saw all the things I didn't do right. The table setup was horrible. The way I had setup was just not what it should have been, because you have a talent, but how are you going to showcase the talent if you don't present it right? So I just went home, took whatever little savings I had, I put it into buying tablecloth, easels, anything just to make it look better, man. Long before I got this nice old banner behind me that I have now, you know what I mean? But man, I came a long way from where I was, and I just said, okay, what else do I want to do? I got to start doing t-shirts. So I started making t-shirts, man, with my bare hands. I would go shopping. I would go to Target. I'd buy some transfers. I had this iron my mom bought for me, and I used that iron to make the t-shirts. I mean, I would go from maybe 9 in the evening till about 4 in the morning trying to make t-shirts, man. It was rigorous. Measuring the neckline, making sure the image was perfectly straight on the t-shirt. It ain't like these now. This is a whole different level of apparel that I got now. But you know, the beginning is always liberating. It's really just an amazing quest of growth. You know what I mean? The progress has been steady. Excuse me, y'all. But 13, when you've been doing something for about going on 14 years now, you're not paying attention because you're not stopping to smell the roses. But then you come to look back, and every time I do one of these episodes, I'm looking at it oh my God, look at how far I've come. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So now I'm doing glasses cases, and I can't believe how far I've come. I'm doing glasses cases. I got my own footwear. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And you're going to you're seeing yourself in different areas and things that you can do. I got beanies, I got hoodies, custom t-shirts. Everything is custom. Nothing is like just waiting for y'all to, it's just on the rack. No, you order it, I design it, I make it, then I ship it out to you. Like, I start to have value for myself. I start to value myself. I stop being cheap. I stop selling stuff like $5 and $10. Like, screw that. Why am I doing this? This is a whole lot of work. I need to get my value back. I mean, look at this t-shirt. The material is just off the chain. I've had person that's bought t-shirts, hoodies, apparel, any type of thing from me that hasn't said, man, this is next level stuff. Just had a customer who bought a phone case. They reached out to me. It's like, this phone case is sick, man. And people don't, the stuff that I make is a one-off. It's like, everybody's not getting what I get. Either you want to be part of our movement where we're making awesome stuff, or you just want to be buying the jati, as I was saying in my language, which is trash, basically. You want the cheap stuff. If you're a cheapskate, you ain't for me, and I ain't for you, because I'm not interested in clients like that. You're not a client. You're just somebody who's a freeloader looking for free stuff. I don't do free stuff. Nobody values what they get for free. Now, when you pay for it, then, of course, that item is of highest quality. You really value it. I mean, I remember used to dream about making stuff. I mean, look at this, man. Look at this hoodie. This is the progress I'm talking about. And part of that progress is also, too, while I was in school, I'm going to show y'all, I created like a Karjakz Vs Assassins animation intro, which I did in school, but now I'm actually working on a better animation intro. So I'm going to play y'all this right here that I got, and then I'm going to play y'all the old school one. I made two versions. I'm going to show y'all a little bit of it. I mean, yo, that's the classic Karjakz Vs Assassins intro that I created in school. And when I did that, I was like, well, you know, I'm getting better. Let me just try some other kind of animation style intro. So I did some like a comic strip type of intro, just so I could promote my characters. And it worked. I mean, I'm putting this thing on my TikTok page, on my Instagram page, on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page. I mean, you got to promote your stuff however you create it, man. And that's part of the progress, understanding how to build what you created, right? So look, I'm going to play this one for y'all. Y'all really going to like this. Let me see if I can get it up, if I can play this one for y'all. You know what I mean? But it's part of like your growth process, man. A lot of people want everything instantaneous. And to be honest with y'all, the best way to be successful is really to do this oven style. You put the ingredients together. You put it in the baking pan. You put all the seasoning that's necessary, and then you put it in the oven and let it slowly marinate and bake itself to where it needs to get to. Organic growth is the best growth, and I think that's why I'm really successful, to be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my progress, just not rushing myself, taking my time. You know what I mean? Not taking my time is what led to this. Look at this. I got my own footwear. I just want to use the sport ones because it's something I don't focus on, but the sport ones. These are the newest pair of shoes we've created, the Bata Sport ones. They are great for exercise. And what you notice about my shoes is that it's a walking mural, man. It's got art different on each shoe, on either side. Look at this. Check this out. Now, on the right foot is the classic Karjakz Vs Assassins. But on the left foot is the classic. You know what I'm saying? It's the model version 5. So look. I'm going to play y'all a little something. I was waiting for it to download. Okay, hold on, y'all. This is what I created. I decided, you know what? Let me create a little something. I was like, a little promo, man. Why not? You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what just like a little snippet. And I just kept on going. Look, simple things like apparel. I got shorts now. This is what I mean by progress. I wasn't doing any of this 13 years ago. I wasn't even thinking about any of this 13 years ago. I just wanted to have posters. That's how far I've come. And look at this now. You got apparel, some of the best apparel. It's just sick gear, man. You can work out in this. You can swim in it. You can play basketball. You can do whatever the hell you want, man. Then, of course, you got apparel, you got sweatpants, right? I mean, look at this, custom. I was just wearing one of these today, went into the mall. They was like, what is that? And I can tell people like, I wonder what kind of Japanese anime style that is. And people always approach me, so what are these characters? I'm like, the characters I created from the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. Like, what's that universe? Oh, it's a new animation style. New animation that's coming soon. First official comic book is coming. And you get to just talk to people. And you get to realize, just by them staring at it, lets me know they like it. Because most people they're not going to roll up and just start, people don't roll up on me because they just don't roll up on me. But, people are like, wow, this is interesting looking. I even had one guy thought what I was wearing was Gundam Wing. That's when I knew this Karjakz Vs Assassins stuff is off the chain awesome. And, you even got t-shirts. Look at this. This is the newest line of t-shirt that we make, right? Check this out. I mean, look at this. It's the quality, the detail. Like, people usually, when you see t-shirts, you see one giant image on the shirt and that's it. No. With mine, we put all kinds of image on the shirt. I'm going to make sure you get your bang for your buck. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with this, and that's why I progress. Not to reach the last point of today's podcast, the finish line. I don't know if there's a finish line, but my main thing is really animated series, all the different positive platforms I can have my characters on that I want my characters on. Keyword is that I want my characters on, because I'm not going to do stuff just to money grab. That's not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? I see that a lot with a lot of stuff that we see on TV. Look at this. I guess it's done downloading. You know what I mean? I guess I can finally show you all this thing, because it's been trying to hide. Look at this. I'm trying to show you all this right here. This is one of the other intro I created. Y'all, that's the beautiful thing about creation. It gives you a chance to grow. So when I say finish line, I don't know if I have one, because every day I wake up every morning, there's always something for me to do. I mean, I went from this to this to this, and of course a version 6 that I can't show you all that, but that's how far I've come. I mean, this is progress right here. You know what I mean? It's always about progress, and that's what happens to you. The finish line is animated movies, animated series, movies, video games, anything that I decree to be a positive platform is where I'm going to put my characters. It's not going to be no money grab nonsense. That's really not going to move me much. You know what I mean? It's all about just organic growth, growing towards the direction I want to go. It's too hard to create characters this great only for you to let it get watered down. And my problem, this is why I've retained my independence as an independent creator. I don't want companies telling me what to do. That's why I have my own company. That's why I have trademarks of my own. My company's trademarked. My creations are trademarked. My stuff is copyrighted. Something I spoke about on the last podcast, Artway, episode 119, but this is episode 120. You know what I mean? It's just, you gotta have a vision for what you're doing, because the minute you don't have a vision, you've pretty much told anybody that comes around you that tell me what to do. And you ain't gonna tell me what to do. What you're gonna do is get out of my face, because I know what I want to do. Nothing irritates me more than when people approach me acting like I don't know what I've planned for these characters. How do you think I got this far? I planned everything I am doing. Versions, from version 1 to version 2 to version 3, version 4, version 5, version 6 and 7 and 8. However many versions of these characters I keep creating. The goal is to get better, and when I get better, they get better. You know what I mean? So the finish line really isn't a finish line. It's more when I just decide, you know what, the finish line is when I retire. That's what the finish line is, to be honest with you. When I'm not able to physically do it anymore. I'm not mentally able to create like I'm creating now anymore. That's when I reach a finish line. And by then, God knows how much creation I would have done. You know what I mean? Because I believe in myself, and that's why I've gotten this far. That's really the most important part of this whole journey. Confidence comes from belief. When I first started this journey, all I knew was that I just wanted to create my characters. That's all I knew, and nothing else. And that's what I went for. Kept it simple, just kept on going. I was willing to invest 3.5 years in just creating these characters, version 1 right here. And now I'm over here. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? So that's our show for today. You know what I'm saying? But before we get up out of here, I always like to talk about the new products we're talking about. You know what I mean? Let's first talk about some shorts. I've showed y'all this during the podcast. I'm going to put some detailed work on this real quick. The shorts, as you can see, these are short. They're great for working out, summer wear, because as you can see, we're going into the fall now. I'll show you some fall gear. It's got a zipper in it, just in case you got to keep something, you know, if you're at the gym, you got to have a pocket, you know what I mean? But these shorts are sick. And the great thing about these shorts is that they have dry quick technology. Once you wash them, they'll probably be dry within an hour. I mean, my apparel, I went out of my way to do only the best of the best, using the best stuff. And also, I'm a tailor, so it makes it even easier. Custom designer. Sweatpants, you know what I mean? These are sweatpants right here. They are great for general wear. They're also great for working out. You can even play basketball in them. You can run in them. You can go golfing in them. And they got pockets here, just in case you're wondering. Yes, they got pockets. There you go. They got pockets. You know what I mean? We're not making nothing. They got custom colors too. And the good thing about my sweatpants is that each leg, all sides of the leg can be a different color. Yeah, we're sick like that, man. Then of course, can't forget the t-shirts, man. Are you kidding me? The t-shirts, custom t-shirts, man. I mean, this is made out of Tencel jersey. We've got only the best of the best. I don't use cheap stuff. My stuff is designed for your shirt to look great for a long time. And when I say a long time, more than 10 years. That's the materials that I'm creating. Of course, you can see the version 5 Karjakz Vs Assassins in the back right here. But on the front, let me scoot back a little bit so y'all can see. Look at this. You know what I mean? So this is what we're doing here, man. We are just always doing the best of the best. So if you love t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? If you love custom t-shirts, look at the ones that I got on. If you love t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, if you love t-shirts, you want the best quality stuff, you ain't trying to wear no cheap stuff, visit sanusi.com. So y'all, that ends our show for today. But before we get up out of here, we want to thank our sponsors. This Sound Vision podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadale for the Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadale for the Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadaleCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadaleCenter.com for details, y'all. So, y'all, I want to thank y'all for listening to this podcast today. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Booker Jr. Please check out our website, sanusivision.com, for all the cool stuff we got. From beanies, bomber jackets, t-shirts. We got women's gear, we got kids gear, we got men's gear. We got accessories like glasses cases, phone cases, travel neck pillows. I mean, all kinds of cool stuff. And please subscribe to our podcast on YouTube channel, which is at Sanusi Vision. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we're out the podcast now. We can get the visual and the audio. That's what I'm starting to realize. People want the visual and the audio, not just the audio. They don't want to just listen to you. They want to actually see you. It's like a visual interaction. You know what I mean? So on sanusivision.com, y'all. And please check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all Sanusi Vision. For right now, TikTok, we still got it till the U.S. government decides to ban it, which I'm probably not going to be shocked when it goes away. But that's why we have other platforms too. YouTube being the number one. Facebook is number 2 for me. You know what I'm saying? You got Twitter, Instagram. If TikTok gets out of America, so be it. You know what I mean? But social media platforms, the main 2 really are YouTube and Facebook. If you got those 2, man, you can't go wrong. Especially those Facebook Reels. I mean, we get a lot of my podcast goes on my YouTube channel and my Facebook Reels. People will literally watch entire episodes for 20 minutes on my Facebook Reels, which is amazing to me. You know what I mean? So check us out. And please, don't forget to review us. Rate us, give us a 5-star on our podcast. Don't be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Say something nice. And as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.